I am back. I am back with a little video on handmade papers. Two different sorts I'm going to do. I'm going to do a faux rice paper, which is this one. So this is it's quite transparent, this one, which obviously rice paper is quite, yeah, it is quite a transparent sheer looking paper. Not that I've used a lot of rice paper in my crafting, but from what I've seen of rice paper, I don't think this is too bad for a faux. So yeah, these are just some little pieces that I did a batch previously, and these are some small pieces that I've got left from that batch. So we're going to make some faux rice paper, and we're going to make some textured paper, both using napkins. You are going to need napkin of your choice. I have this lovely lavender one, which I think is very pretty, and also this one with the birdies on, the birdies. The whiter your background, obviously the more transparent you see through will be your rice paper. Okay, so like there where it's quite dark, you can't really see through that, but you can see through the, do you know what I mean? You see through the white bit. But so if you've got quite a dark, you're still going to get the effect, but it's not going to be, it might not look as much rice papery as it could. That's the only way I can say it. So we're going to take, you need napkins of your choice. You will need a little dish with PVA glue and water. This little mix is 3 parts PVA to 1 part water. You want quite a runny, can you see that? It's quite a, you see that? It's quite a runny, wet. Obviously it's wet, it's glue. But you know, it doesn't want to be thick. You want quite a runny mix. Okay, so I mean, when I say 3 parts to 1 part, I don't measure it. I just look at the bowl and think, yeah, that's enough glue, and drop some water in. So you've got like a runny mix. So, but if you want to be precise, 3 to 1. 3 to 1 napkins. You're going to need for the textured paper. Oh, sorry, I'm clattering. You're going to need just some A4 copier paper, okay? But for the faux rice paper, which we will have a go at first, I think, you are going to need a bin bag. Yes, you heard me correctly. If I can find it. You're going to need a bin bag. My bin bag is blue. Okay. You can use a bin bag. You can use a plastic shopping bag, carrier bag. The lady that I watched make this used a inside the bag that your cereal comes in, inside the box. She emptied out the cereal and she laid that out. Thing I like about the bin bag is you can do a lot in one go. Whereas if you're messing with something, you know, like a cereal liner or what's the other thing I said? Or a carrier bag. You've not got as much surface space. So although I'm not going to make, I'm not filling this on this video, but the bigger, obviously, the bigger your surface of plastic, the more paper you can make in one go. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to go with, no, not that one. Okay, these. So first thing we're going to do, I'm not going to do a whole sheet. So don't think for starters it would fit all on camera. No, it won't. So we're going to, I think I'm going to do maybe half. Do you know what? I'm going to do a square. Then I know that you can see. So I'm going to cut out, unfold your napkin, 4 squares. And I'm just going to cut out one of the squares. This just makes it easier for you to see. If you want to, obviously, if you want to make a big sheet, if you're going to use it all, I don't find if I make too much of it, I'm not using it. So I like to make just little bits that I can just grab and you know, add to a project or whatever it is I'm doing. So I'm going to chop that one up and chop a little square off this one. It's been a very warm day here today. I think it's been about 29 degrees. That's Celsius. Don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, sorry. But it's a bit muggy. It's a bit muggy today. So cut out your little squares. Let's move that over there. Cut out your squares, and then just like as if you were decoupaging, take off. They're normally 3-ply. These I normally just lick my fingers, do a little with that, and you'll see that it comes apart. See? And you just want to pull off your top sheet, okay? But don't throw that away. Keep that, because you'll need that for the textured paper. So we've got our little birdies. Lick the finger again and just do that. And there we go, it should all start to come apart. I think only, right, okay. There's only one sheet come off there. 2 seconds. Let's see if we can get another one off. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, so that's what we're going to. Keep your backing sheets. You'll see why later. Okay, so there we go. Whoops, might be a bit off camera. Don't want to be off camera. Okay, so there we go. So what we're going to do now is move those to one side and take your glue mixture. Okay, this is just a cheap paintbrush. It is quite soft on the bristle though, so you don't, obviously when you're messing with napkins, they're quite fragile. So you don't want a brush that's you want something that's, you know, it's a bit bendy and a bit pliable. And quite soft. I mean, there's probably better brushes than this, but it's it does the job. So take your glue and your brush, and you're going to just paint straight onto your bin liner a square, approximately, doesn't matter if it's bigger, don't really want it to be smaller, the size of your napkin. Okay, and there we go. There's my little square. And onto there we will place a napkin. Take the glue into the mixture again. Let's put that there, that's it. And then we're just going to gently pull out. You don't need to pull out the crinkles in this, because I do think that little bit of crinkly texture does add to the paper. So there, we're just going to do that. Okay, so that's nice and wet. Okay, make sure it's all covered. There we go. Okay, that's the first one, and then we're just going to basically repeat that again. So another square. My tutorials don't make sense, then please don't be afraid to tell me, because I kind of know what I'm doing, but so then I'll just think, oh, you know, everybody else knows, but obviously everybody else doesn't know. Okay, so there's another one, and then we'll pop this one on. Okay, just onto there. Take the glue on the brush again and just gently wipe that over. Obviously, you know, nice and gently, because you don't, I mean, if you do rip it, it's not the end of the world, because you can still use it. I had a mishap with the first few that I did, but it's not, you know, don't throw it away just because the napkin is ripped. I think I might have just pulled it there actually. You know, just cut that bit off, or yeah, don't throw it away. That's all I'm going to say to you. Don't throw it away. Okay, so you see that? Now this next tip, was it treasured books? I can't think. She's a wonderful lady. Does so many videos. I think it's treasured books. I think it's treasured. I'll find out. Leave a little linky. Her tip was, if you leave this to dry now like that, you're going to have terrible trouble peeling this off the plastic, you'll need to get like a blade or something underneath to lift the corners and get it up, and this is the wonderful trick that she said. Okay, so take your brush and gently just push your brush into the edge of the paper. So basically, instead of being a straight edge now, you're pushing to make that edge slightly wrinkle and lift. It's not going to lift because it's wet. It's going to wrinkle in. You're forming like a ridge down the edge of the paper. And you do that all the way around. Just push it. So basically, you just haven't got a straight edge anymore. You've got that little bit of a... You're making a ridge around the outside of the napkin. Okay? And I'm going to do the same on this one. Just push it in. Like that. It doesn't really matter, because when you come to use this, you can just cut that edge off if you want, you know, just to use the smooth bit, but it's just a bit of texture, a bit of dimension. Okay, complete. And all you do with that now is you leave it somewhere to dry, and once it's dried, as I'm about to show you because I made one earlier, once it's dried, we can lift it off the paper. So I'm just going to pop that to one side. Bear with. And just lift it up. I don't want it to get... So let's go over there with that. Okay, so in the words of that great British children's programme that is called Blue Peter, here's one I made earlier. So I made these this mornings before I went to work. Okay. I did another one on the end of this one as well then. So okay, so they're the same papers, only this one is this is just the backing, one of these plain backing papers, which I just thought I'd give it a little test and see what it came out like. So can you see, this is where I ruffled up the edges this morning on the edge. So all you're going to do now is, perfectly dry these are, you take the edge and you just lift it up there. It'll just peel up and lift, and once it's up, here we go. This is the beautiful bit. Look, and that will just peel straight off. Straight off it comes. Okay, and you have a gorgeous, gorgeous piece of faux rice paper. Nice and crinkly, transparent because the background was white. This one's quite matte. I think the glue must be slightly different to the first ones I ever made, which is a different glue. So this has come out with quite a matte texture. I suppose you could put, if you can find a glossy PVA, but I don't know whether they do one. What I wouldn't use is Mod Podge because, well, one is too expensive. Although you can get the Mod Podge, can't you, with in glossy and matte. Anyway, that's definitely, the back actually is quite shiny. Got a bit of a sheen to it. The front is definitely matte. So that's that one. Let's try the birdies. So we just poke that corner there, look. And once we poke that corner, that will just, it's quite satisfying, this is, you know. Pull away. Oops, got a little bit of glue there, but those little bits will just cut them off, pull them off, whatever you want to do. Okay, so that's the bird one, which, oh, actually, is still, even though the background isn't white, that is still, you can still see through that. See my fingers. Woohoo. Yeah, so nice shiny back again, and the front is and quite sturdy. I mean, if you know what I mean, it's going to rip. I'll do this and it'll rip, but no, that is quite sturdy. So there we go. That's that one. And that's the lavender. That's the birdies. And then this one. This was just, as I said, a piece of backing paper. I was just a bit interested as to how this would look. So let's pull that one off. Okay, nice and transparent. I suppose you could use that for something. Oh, I'm not quite sure what. But I'm pretty sure you can use it for something. Do you know what? The first thing that popped to mind then was a glassine bag. if you could get, I mean, there's a slight pattern on this because it was the undersheet, I think, of the bird. It was the first, like the bottom sheet will be completely white. That was not the bottom sheet, it was this second sheet. So you see there's a slight print on it. So if I'd have made it with that complete bottom sheet, that would have been quite clear, and that, I think, would make some faux glassine bags, quite possibly. That's an idea. I don't know whether you'd put the shiny side out for that, or who knows, I don't know. Okay, so there you go. So that is your faux rice paper. So that's the first thing, the first little ding that tutorial. Now, the second, which I would imagine people have probably done many times before, I'm going to use the bag just as a backing, just to protect the work surface. The second thing I'm going to make is, this is just some textured A4 paper. So just a normal piece of A4 copier. Where's my brush? There's my brush. And I'm going to paint glue over the whole piece of paper. Okay. Now, two things you could do here. You could literally just glue your napkin straight on top. So what you've got is just a textured napkin, A4 piece of paper. And that's not what I'm going to do. What am I going to do is, I went foraging. See these? Foraging for, this is grass. It's grass head that's gone to seed. Okay, so nice little bunch there, which I've sort of given it a little bit of a rub, so all the seeds have fallen out. See? So I'm going to take just a little handful, and I'm going to sprinkle that all over my paper. Okay, there we go. Now to that, you could add more to that if you wanted to. I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave it with some. Just want a little bit of texture in the background. Onto that, the plain backing from the napkin, just the plain, I'm going to lay over the top. I need another one. Give me another one. Let's just pull this one apart. So that's the. I mean, you could use the. It depends what you want. You could use the second sheet down. As I said, there's a tiny bit of print on the second sheet. Can you see that? It's nothing major. It's still usable. But I fancied just going with that. Actually, do you know what? Let's rip that bit. Is that the printed bit? I don't know. Let's just rip that down the middle. Rip it down the middle. And we'll lay a piece there. And we shall lay a piece there. Okay? And take your brush again and very gently just press down. Now again, if this rips, I really wouldn't worry too much about it. You're just after a bit of texture on your paper. Well, that's all I'm after. I mean, if you want it to be perfect, then. If you is a perfectionist, then fair enough. But I am just after a nice bit of white paper with just a little bit of texture through it. So there we go, just pull out all those little bubblies where your paper's dry. Okay, so that's that. That's that bit. And then we'll just do down this bit. There we go, that's that bit. Oh, sorry, there's that bit. Ding ding, round one. That little bit there. See, there's a bit of print, which actually, that little bit of print might have been okay, to be fair. But there we go. So that is my textured paper with grass seed. Grass, head, seeds. glass head seats. I'm going to move that all in one go. So I'm going to move that over there, and I'm going to show you, because I made one of these earlier too. So let me just pop that over there, and I will show you if I even know where I've put it. Where did you put it, Joe? Oh, I know I've brought it down. Oh, there it is. It's the menopause. It is the menopause. I blame the menopause. So that was one I made earlier. So there you go. I didn't actually cover the whole sheet on that one. So but what I'll do there, I mean I'll do it with scissors, but I would do it with my cutter properly. I just cut that. I did only lay one square, you see, like that for this one. So we'll basically just chop that around there and up there and down there. There we go. So I have a nice little piece of textured paper. I was thinking that maybe that would be a nice background for an ATC card. Do you know what? Even a handmade envelope, possibly. Anything. I mean, you can do absolutely anything you want with it. Journal page, fold it in half. Journal page. And those seeds aren't coming off. Look, they are stuck on. Oh, there's one escaped, but generally that isn't going anywhere. Look. So there you go. ATC card, and this one. This was a napkin that I just decoupaged onto just an A4 piece of copier paper again. Again, I didn't fill the whole piece of paper. I think I took the square. I think there's some there. I'm going to cut that bit off. I'll just take this bit out here. So that's just made a nice piece of textured papier. And what I like about this napkin is that's all textured now. It's gorgeous. Nice and rough and all wrinkly and like me, rough and wrinkly. I will cut those out. See, it's there. Let's chop you down there. And these, because it does make. I mean, it's not the thickness of card, but that's quite a sturdy little piece of paper now, and that would make a beautiful tag. It is, yeah. Anyway, yes, there we go. There you have it. That's a very quick tutorial on my handmade papers. Look at those. Yeah, they've come out really well. They have come out well. You really do need to go away and try this one. I was very impressed when I tried it. And as I say, it's I'm currently making myself a little sampler book, which I'm filling with all my own papers. So this is my, just to show you, this is my little sampler book. Rubbish over there. So I'm making a little sampler book. These papers, by the way, are from a beautiful lady called Tracy at Tracy's Seaside Studios. You'll find her on Etsy. I'll try and remember to stick a link at the bottom. This is a new digital download called Medieval Rose. Beautiful, absolutely. It's covered this book. This is my latest journal, but I've printed that onto card, and I've covered this journal. That's another piece of hers inside. So that's outside. Yeah, outside, inside. So this is all for Tracy's. But here we go. This is what I'm doing with this journal. It's for my own personal use. But any papers that I'm making, which I'm gonna be trying to make a few papers. I think something I'm gonna be having a go at. I'm just gluing them onto the pages as I go. So that was a textured napkin, straight onto A4 paper, nice and rough. You hear that? Nice and rough. And then I've got that's just some that's coffee stain paper, but that I wasn't actually done in the oven. That was done. I put the coffee in a spray bottle, and I made the coffee really dark. And coffee in a spray bottle, and just sprayed the paper outside and just let it air dry, and it was a better, I'd say, I do coffee papers, tea stained and coffee dyed papers in the oven. This, to me, was a far better way of doing it, and you get a better result. I love that. What else have I got in there? Another coffee. That's the other page of that one, I suppose. See, it's just, there's none of that burning on the edges. I don't know whether it's me, but if I do tea stain papers in the oven, I tend to get a wrinkly burny thing around the edge, but none of that. Beautiful. Did that anyway. And then that is a mixture of those previous faux rice papers that I've just layered on a page. So there's about 3 different designs there, I think, that I've just layered. So there we go. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm making. If I make any more papers, I will that I think are any good, then I will do another little tutorial. But for now, ladies, go get some glue, go get a paintbrush, get some napkins, find yourself a bin bag, and make some faux rice paper and some textured paper. Have fun. Let me know how it comes out, and I will catch you again very soon. Totty bye.